Hunter, hello. Uh, Thank you very much for coming in. First of all, well done finishing Costa Brava. How do you
Thank
feel?
you. I feel good. I feel way better after a ultra than I've ever felt before. Even though there definitely were were some tough parts during the race, but I feel really good, and I think we finished stronger and higher in the standings than we expected. So I'm super pleased.
Amazing. What inspired you to sign up for this race? Because it's a stage race. In the past, you've done huge races like UTS, but the stage race is a different beast. What inspired you to sign up?
My wife, who she runs a running group, but one of her friends, and a few other of her friends had done it last year and just said it was gorgeous. And I don't know, somehow beforehand, the prospect of splitting into 3 days seemed like that would be just a sort of easy thing to go do. And so that was really what got me into it. And
Okay.
I was doing it with a buddy, so that helped.
Yeah. And when did you feel the strongest in the race? Like, what was the strongest part that you felt, and the weakest part?
The strongest part was funnily enough probably midday on day three.
Mhm.
Um, Day three was just it was a lot more flat or runnable at least. Probably out of the 30 miles, maybe 24 was runnable.
Mhm.
And the climbs were it was the least technical of the three stages as well. So the climbs we could kind of power up the climbs and down the downhills. Probably right in the middle of that. I felt the best. And also just the combination of feeling good and then feeling surprised. At that point, whatever, 60 miles into it. And then the worst was with probably 7 or 8 miles to go on day two. Day two is the longest day with the most vertical and very technical. And I just had I don't know, I sort of had a low point. I don't know if it maybe a little bit of dehydration set in. And so I actually ended up walking, maybe 2 miles, and then kind of got myself back together to finish strong that day. But that was probably the low point of the 3 days.
Amazing. Well, the fact that on day three you were the strongest, where usually the NFs happen, it's amazing. It's like usually people drop day two, but what do you think attributed to you being the strongest at day three?
Uh, I mean, part of it was just the way the course was set up. I think I did take good care to um, recover after each day. I had a massage after each day, used the Normatec sleeves, tried to eat and hydrate. I think that helps in sleep. Although, funnily enough, the second night's sleep was probably the worst of the three, just given sort of our setup there. And then I was trying to think of sort of what I've done differently this time versus others. I think we did more elevation training, like a bunch of runs out in Box Hill. I think that helped. And then I think the weight training, that's sort of the thing that is really different than what I've done in any prior programs. So I chalk it up to that.
Nice. You finished 16th as well. How do you feel like if you 6 months, let's say 6 months ago versus today, like 16th is no joke. Like top 20, it's a very good position to be. How do you feel? Did you expect it, or it was?
Yeah, only 16th on the last day. Overall, I think I think I was like 27th or something, but still very very happy. I mean, this is a lot of these ultras I sort of go in without a heck of a lot of expectation and just want to finish with a smile.
Yeah.
And So finishing the last day on in 16th, in a really pretty strong field, and then overall I'm super happy.
It's amazing. Before we worked together, how did your training look like versus how we work together? What changed?
Um, I mean, I've never, I did for Snowdonia. I worked with a trainer who, um, or somebody who sort of he runs an ultra program here in London, but it was less structure, which just doesn't really. I'm a structured guy, so I benefit from structure. And as I said, it was there was no weight training involved. I mean, I was doing a little bit on the side here and there, but not necessarily running or ultra specific. So I think the combination of a lot more um, deliberate workouts for the race at hand, plus the weight training was very different than what I'd done before. And I think I with you spent a decent amount of time trying to lose a little bit of weight. I think that extra or 5 kilos less makes a difference over 75 miles.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, not just physically, but I think mentally, because you lost 5 kg. So we worked on with nutrition, strength, and running. How did you find overall the holistic approach?
I liked it a lot. I think I mean, I think it's sort of the only right way to do it. Having now experienced it.
Nice. And at some point, I don't remember when you said it was the most personalized coaching that you received. How does it translate into day-to-day training to you?
Yeah. Well, a lot of the historical training I've got is sort of like, okay, here's your week or sometimes 2 week program. And um, that my schedule is crazy. Like I'm traveling around the world, once or twice, once or twice a week, and have a lot of various personal and other commitments. And so being able to say, all right, this week I'm going to be in this location doing these other physical activities. Like how do we supplement or take the training down, but then make sure that we make it up to next week. Like I thought, we could not even just month to month, but sometimes day to day, adjust the training for whatever was going on in the rest of my life was very different than I've experienced.
That's that's something that I found it like inspiring. Your schedule is so busy. Like you said, you travel a lot. How do you manage to fit in everything? Because people a lot of times they say, "Oh, I don't have time. I have kids and I have that." You have kids, you have a family, you have a business, you're traveling all the time. How do you manage to prioritize? Because I think you never, maybe once you missed a workout, but you really never missed a session.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer that the physical and mental are linked, and I'm better at my job and better at being a parent and a spouse when I sort of work out. And so it's like on what I don't think about it necessarily as a trade-off. I think it's sort of like if I don't work out, then I'm more sluggish and maybe grumpier around the house. And so it makes it a bit easier to make the time for it.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who is saying, well, you don't know, Hunter, it's like, it's crazy. I'm so busy. I'm running these businesses. I'm doing this. I have kids. What advice would you give them to find the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of like if I'd say this somewhat sheepishly, but like if I can find the time, then anybody can find the time. Like it's doable. Like I think the max week was maybe 10 hours of workouts. And you can bite size it. You can do a 20-minute stretch here, a 30-minute left lift there, and yeah, you just you need to use the downtime effectively.
Nice. And in terms of running on trails, your next goal is marathon. How come you're going from usually people who finish trail races, endurance runs, they stay with trail? How come you're choosing to go with sub 3 marathon?
Uh, Well, we might. I got to think about what I sort of have one ultra a year and then one road race. So I think that sort of works for my body and just mentally. And I like to go fast. And
Mm,
I find uh, trails are prettier and maybe more mentally stimulating. But I like I think it's easier almost to measure how your fitness is improving in flat or fast races. So I like doing both.
that's amazing. Hunter, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I look forward working on your sub 3 marathon and other fitness goals. But one thing that I definitely learned from you is how efficient you are. And like I said previously, with time, sometimes like we all can create excuses. Oh shit, I have this, I have that. But looking at your schedules, like, yeah, that's just amazing. So thank you for inspiring me as well at the same time. And plus
No,
a huge element actually. You're not 30, you're not 20, you're in your 40s.
I'm an old guy.
Not all, but like, yeah, you're in your 40s and you're still pushing hard, and with strength training you're challenging yourself. You're not just doing deadlifts like, yeah, let's do 20 kilos. Like, you're genuinely challenging yourself. So that's incredible, and I'd like to thank you for that and acknowledge it.
No, well, thank you for everything, Alex. It's been a blast, and more to come.
Thank you.